Hey, what's up everybody? It's your good friend AirsoftMan819 here again with yet another video. This is going to be another PC gaming peripheral video, and it's going to be on the Razer Huntsman Mini, a mechanical gaming keyboard with Razer's optical switches in it. It is a proprietary switch, and the switches on this keyboard cannot be changed out. So if that's something you're interested in, you're going to have to find a different keyboard. So it doesn't use mainstream switches, and they are not interchangeable. So if you don't like these proprietary Razer switches, you're basically out of luck. But luckily, these new Razer switches are actually really good. They're very quick, responsive, they sound good, they feel good in the hand when you type. And overall, it's been a very good experience with this keyboard. So what really drew me to this keyboard primarily was the layout. I had been looking for a 60% keyboard for a while. They're very, very compact. They take up very little space on your desk. And for a gamer who doesn't spend a lot of time typing, something that would be perfect for somebody like me. And that's why I got it. I wanted something that didn't take up a lot of space on my desk, but I could still game very effectively with. And in a lot of ways, it's probably the best keyboard I've ever owned. So I'm going to show you guys the box really quick. The keyboard's not in the box. It's actually behind it. That way we don't have to go through the painful process of unboxing it. So it has Razer's optical switches, which are mechanical, very responsive switches. Double shot PBT keycaps. Those are really high quality ABS keycaps. They're basically designed to let light through the letters without the letters wearing off. And they have a very good matte finish on them that takes quite a bit of use to wear off. So Razer's always made really good keycaps. I'm sorry I mispronounced that. It's PBT. They've always had really good keycaps, and the last Razer keyboard I had for quite a long time, and the keycaps never wore out. So it has a detachable Usbc cable, which is really neat, especially for a keyboard of this price point. It's only $100, guys, so if you want this thing, it's not that much money. It's $100. Comes with a braided USB cable. So we'll go ahead and get this out of the way because we don't really need to look at it anymore. And here's the keyboard itself, and as you can see, it is a very small keyboard. It's not very big at all. Matter of fact, I can just reach up and just palm it. So that gives you an idea of just how small this thing is. And it's honestly very clean. I really like the layout, but there has been some sacrifices made on this keyboard because it doesn't have a number pad or function keys on the top, or media keys for that matter. So it's basically a bare bones QWERTY keyboard for gaming, essentially, and that's what I use it for primarily. Obviously it's on my main gaming / editing rig, so it gets used quite a bit, although I don't type a lot, you know, so I just want something that doesn't take up a bunch of space on my desk, something where I'm not hitting keys with my elbows, and has a very good responsive switch in it for gaming. This is a fully mechanical keyboard. Sorry, I bumped the tripod there. It's a fully mechanical keyboard, has full mechanical switches. Fully adjustable RGB via the Razer Synapse software. Flip it around to the back. It's plugged in right now. There's your detachable USB-C cable. It can attach either direction and locks very securely into the keyboard. I think that's something that a lot of other companies should learn from as Razer as far as their detachable cables, because I'll probably end up pressing about 100 keys, if there is 100 keys on this, trying to get this out of here. You can see there's a little track on the side, and it locks into the keyboard. So very, very tight. Not going to have to worry about that coming out while you're playing. Very nice non-slip feet if you have the keyboard laying flat. And you have Razer's 2-position angle adjustments here that are also rubberized. And I have it on the highest setting, but you also have a mid-range setting and a completely flat setting. So you've got flat, mid-range setting, and full almost 90-degree angle setting. I like my keyboard at an angle. I play better that way. I don't know why. My wrists just don't get as tired. But you can see embedded in the back of this thing, for gamers by gamers everywhere, which I think is just a really neat touch. They didn't have to do it, but they did, and I'm proud of them for it because it's badass. So the keys are very well stabilized. They press you can literally press the very corner of the space bar. Very well stabilized, very solid keys, good quality keycaps. The switches are Razer's optical clicky switches, so they are very clicky. About, I don't know, it's almost immediate So it's not one of those keys that kind of clicks halfway through or clicks when it almost bottoms out. It kind of clicks immediately and then has kind of a flat bottom out on it. I think Razer's got foam or something in here because the when the key bottoms out, it's fairly quiet. So very nice. So obviously your entire function keys have been moved to the number keys on the top. You have to use this function button to access basically anything that's written in white on the side of the key. You have to hit this function button to activate. And the nice thing is all of your secondary keys will light up when you hit the function button. So only your double function keys are visible when you hit this. Even the sleep button down here on the Z is isolated and lit up. So it makes it very easy, especially in the dark, if you're wanting to find the secondary function of your keys very quickly. And you also get a visual representation of those keys as well. So they're basically making it as painless for you as possible, even though you're missing a whole lot of keys. And I will compare this to full-size keyboards after we check out the RGB. So we'll go ahead and flip our camera up to my monitor in the most hack way possible. Now we're going to open Razer Synapse. It's down here. That's what the symbol looks like. It's like this green circle. I don't have a desktop icon for it yet. We'll go ahead and full screen it. So we have our keyboard here. We can select our device. You have your different modules down here. You can make your own RGB profiles and such. So if I go up to my keyboard, I can customize the function of each keys if I want. Or I can go over here to lighting and adjust my lighting. So I can create my own lighting effects and enable them here, or I can use the built-in ones that they have given me. And there's also advanced effects. Now, the advanced effects work just fine, but they can't be saved to the actual keyboard, whereas all of these are actually saved to the keyboard. So with a key combination, you can cycle through them without getting onto this software. The combination of keys you have to hit to adjust these, I don't know because it's in the manual and I usually just use the software. So we'll go back down. I have it on fire right now, but we'll cycle through some of the different colored RGB profiles. So the first one is breathing. That's where it just flashes, either between one color or two. In this case, I have green and red selected. So it's going to slowly breathe between green and red, as you can see. So fire, obviously, by its name, looks like fire. You have various flashes of orange and red throughout the board, giving it that sort of fiery appearance, as you can kind of see between the caps. If you had some caps that had a clear or white bottom on them, that would shine through a lot better, which is an upgrade I'd recommend doing on this. So this is reactive. It only does stuff when you type, as you can see. Well, actually went back to fire because we're still on the, here we go. Let's close that. So as you can see, whatever button you hit, lights up. Pretty neat. And you can select what color. Okay, I just had green. Let's make it purple. So now it's purple when you type. Really responsive, clicky keys on this thing. The switches are just fantastic. This is ripple, so when you hit something, it ripples. See that? Boop. Back to fire again. I swear you have to turn off the software when you're doing it. So see? Boop. 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 So that's ripple. Spectrum cycling, that's just showing every single color. Not nearly as neat. Starlight, that's one of my favorites. There we go. Little stars lighting up all over. Really wish I was doing this in a dark room. Oh well. Static, that's just one color and it stays that color all the time. Probably the most boring one. There's green. There's red. Blue, purple, what have you. And wave, where it's got a constant rainbow of colors waving across the keyboard, one of my favorites. You can choose the direction of the wave. Or wheel, which is what I usually have it on, which is a wheel of color circling around the keyboard. So that is our lighting profiles. So I'm going to go ahead and raise up the camera tripod here and show you guys what this little guy looks like next to a full-size honking keyboard, because that's really the only way you can appreciate just how small this thing really is. So we'll set that up there. This is a Skytech keyboard that I have given to my girlfriend. That's my old one. It's a full-size number pad keyboard. This one's also RGB, by the way, and actually has effects you can circle through, but you can kind of the keyboard's so much bigger that it's sitting on my mouse pad, whereas with that it's next to the mouse pad. So basically you're missing all of these and all of these. So it's basically like taking this chunk of keys and making it work with everything. And there, like I said, there's advantages and disadvantages to that. The biggest disadvantage is that you can't type as well on a keyboard like this, and also when you're doing diagnostics on a PC and using the function keys, this is not going to be the most fun to use. So I would always recommend having a full-size keyboard always. Even if you don't want it, have it. Maybe not something like this, but a cheaper, this is a $10 HP full-size keyboard. It's really nice even if you have a working gaming keyboard, if it's not full-size, to have a full-size keyboard. Here's another one. It's actually even bigger. So this has been my short video on the Razer Huntsman Mini Mechanical 60% Optical Keyboard from Razer. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more.